Okay, so this is part two, God. So now I was telling you at the end of part one that you would Google the niacin. Now, what the niacin is back in the day when Constantine was the Roman emperor, he got together different priests and they were trying to figure out what to tell the people Jesus was. They didn't want to make Jesus equal they didn't want to make the people equal to God or by telling you that Jesus and you were one. You know what I mean? They wanted to put Jesus on a higher pedestal. They didn't know how to do that. So there was some priests that was for this, and there was some priests that were not for this. They didn't want the people to be lied to. They wanted to tell the truth. The end result was they said that Jesus was the Son of Man, a Son of God, and that he died and rose on Easter. Constantine created Easter. He was the one that created Easter. So he told these things that were untrue. They put him in the niacin, which is like a document of what we're going to do. It's a certified document that that's going to be taught. This is what's going to be taught in the church. And it's several of them. You know what I mean? You get several documents, several copies. Because I remember when I went to where I first saw this at was the Catholic Encyclopedia. And when I went in there, it was showing what had happened. The men were talking. Some people believe that this is what they needed to do. Some priests believe no, it wasn't that way. But so you was able to hear the argument of both sides. And then when they made up their mind, it was like a document that you just had. To me, you just read the same document over and over. But what they were doing was bringing it into law. Okay. So now I understand you could get the niacin on YouTube, not YouTube, Google. Now, I don't know if it's going to give you the depths information about them, why they wanted to make Jesus the Son of God. I don't think that's on, I'm not sure if it's on Google, but it's definitely inside the Catholic Register because they give you details. Okay. So now some preachers will say, oh, that's not what they meant. That's not what they were trying to say. Like they were there. They weren't there. They don't know what the hell them people meant. They weren't there. And then some preachers will say, yes, that is true. And then some people know it's true and don't reveal it to the people because it's going to mess up their business, the church. So this is a chance for you. This is like the homework I'm giving you, that you're going to start looking up, reading, and learn things for yourself. And quit being guided by other people that want to lie, use, manipulate you. So now what your homework is to look up the niacin. Read it over. If you're able to find the Catholic encyclopedia, I would much prefer that you go find the Catholic encyclopedia and then look it up in that. I would much prefer. But if you didn't, the niacin is fine if you couldn't find it the other way. After you read it, then I want to know what you think about it. What do you think about this? Do you see how they lied to the people? Can you see how they took this and said Jesus was the only Son of God? Constantine created that lie. But that's where you're going to start first. So that would be my homework for you to start looking up things for yourself. And then the other thing, okay, so let's move on now. This is another thing that I didn't quite understand. Why would you are very intelligent. My aunt said that people don't look up things for themselves because they were lazy. I'm tending to believe that. Because a lot of you will go to church, right? If somebody says something against Jesus, you ready to fight them, knock them out, crucify them because they talked against Jesus. But you weren't there when Jesus was here. Neither was I. You don't really know what happened. You just going by what somebody else told you. But you ready to kill your fellow man because somebody told you that Jesus was the Son of God. And you just believed it. I know I asked the lady one time, what was Jesus' real name? She told me his name was Jesus. I was so thrown back. Because if Jesus, first of all, it's not a Jewish name. And if he was Jewish, how would his name be Jesus? Another thing, in that day and time, they didn't address people by their first name like that. People had 3 names. This is why you need to look up stuff. Go take a religious class. You could take all this stuff online so you can learn stuff for yourself. So if J's were not created, how could they called him Jesus back then? They didn't. Constantine created the name Jesus. Another thing, December the 25th, you all should know, people, that is not Jesus' birthday. Because it's been said that they didn't know when Jesus was born. They believe it was the first 2 weeks in September, which is when the Jewish people celebrate their most. They really do. They celebrate. I can't think of what it's called, but it's doing that first 2 weeks, and that was the first 2 weeks Jesus born. A lot of people don't know that, but I've worked with Jewish people for a long time. When I was in nursing, years I've worked with Jewish people, so I know that first week in September is very sacred to them. But again, that is when, I don't know if they're correlated with Jesus. I'm not saying they're correlated with Jesus. I'm just saying it's very sacred holiday for them. I can't think of the name of it. And what I'm saying is Jesus was born the first or second week in September. Now, Constantine had some type of vision about Christianity, and he was trying to change from paganism to Christianity, but he wanted to keep a little paganism in some of the stuff. So December 25th that you are separating, it is a pagan's god birthday, people. It is a pagan god birthday. You didn't even know that. Now you might say, well, I knew it wasn't Jesus, but you still celebrate. What you celebrating it for? You still celebrating it though. You don't know what it is. You're celebrating a pagan god's birthday. But do you think that the society, the power be, care about who you celebrate? They don't give a bad word. They just want to make money off of you. And they make plenty of it off you in Christmas. Because you're intelligent people. You need to start using your intelligence and quit acting like you dumb or born in the backwoods or something and you ain't got no common sense. Think for yourself, people. Start investigating things for yourself. Demand to know the truth about religious. For yourself, people. God created you. So you are a very smart person. So you need to act like it. If the church say jump, you say ha ha. If the church say here come Jesus flying down the street, you will say, oh my God, where he go? There he is, there he is. Whatever they tell you, you just believe it. Investigate things for yourself. So Easter also, like I said, was created by Constantine. I never looked up if Easter was a pagan birthday. I never looked that up, but I know Constantine created it. Um, but I know Christmas was. Christmas was it's a god, a pagan god's birthday. Okay, another thing. People all over the world believe in reincarnation. The majority of people. For a long time, Americans didn't believe in it, but that's changing. It really is changing because a lot of people are believing in reincarnation, but there is a lot of people who don't. So, in the Catholic Encyclopedia. Now, let me say this. The Catholic Encyclopedia is a book that simply recorded everything that ever happened in religious. It doesn't give its opinions or anything like that. It's used as a record just to record what happened in religious from the beginning of time. Everybody needs to read it because I was shocked when I ran across it. And believe me, I mean ran across it, honey. I was shocked that all of this information that they had in there that was the truth. Yet they're not teaching this. In the Catholic Church, they don't teach these things. They're still teaching you lies because you're giving them money and the lies are working because you're giving them a lot of money. So that's why they just stick it to the lies. If they told you the truth, you probably cut off the money and not going to pay anything. So that's why I was really surprised that the Catholic religion hadn't went in and tampered with this information. They just recorded it. This is what happened, and they recorded it. It's up to you to use your common sense to see what you're going to do with the information. You know what I mean? They're giving you the information. What you going to do with it? All right. So now, Constantine's mother. Okay, so in the Bible, the original Bible, it was in there. Jesus had put in there about reincarnation. And it even stated how when Jesus had traveled in India and Tibet, those places like that, how he even talked with some of the, I guess, village people about reincarnation. It was Constantine's mother that wanted Constantine to take it out of the Bible. She thought people would misunderstand it, not be able to interpret it right, and so Constantine took it out of the Bible. But it was originally in there, and Jesus taught on it about reincarnation, that reincarnation was true. Now, like I said, Constantine's mother took it out because she didn't whatever reason. I think it said that she didn't think people would interpret it correctly or understand it correctly, so she took it out. Okay. So now, you, mankind, because I clearly didn't know all this, you just believe that it was never in the Bible. Let me tell you this too. Now, Constantine got a lot of priests together to rewrite whatever Bible that they had out, or paperwork or whatever that they had out back in those days. He wanted his own version because he wanted to be able to control the people. So the new Bible was filled with all type of things that would allow him to control the citizens. So he had told the citizens that if you continue to read the original Bible, I'm just going to say the original Bible or the paperwork or whatever it was, Constantine threatened to kill you. And he did kill many people who didn't go and read the new Bible that he had made up. That they read the old one, which was the closer to what Jesus was saying. He would kill you if you would read those. So a lot of people, they said buried them. Just buried them in different places. And then I think it was in the 60s, they found a lot of the Bible that was buried. Like, what's his name? The one that betrayed Jesus, Judas. He had his own book. Thomas had a book. It was just different books like that. And so that was found. And from the people who had buried it. Oh, this is going to cut off. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Patricia Show. Have a good week.